Welcome back. Let's understand how we can extract a XML element from a XML payload in this session. As part of our case study in UHub SAPI, the next service we are going to develop is update COVID case, which URL looks like HTTP domain COVID as base path, v1 cases as subpath. Even we used same resource or REST URL in previous session for register COVID case, whereas that was a post based HTTP method and it is going to be put based HTTP method because we are going to update something in the backend. Even though URL is going to be same, but still we will be having different HTTP method, and WOS input payload is going to be XML and that looks like this. Let's go to Studio, create one more Mule configuration file as update COVID case. Say finish. Drag and drop a HTTP listener connector to develop a REST service. We are going to choose same HTTP listener config because we are going to make use of same URL and choose path as v1/cases. And the method is going to be put. Save. And let me drag and drop a logger connector. Just click on FX to get the expression. Say payload. Save. Let me add a toggle breakpoint here and right click, say debug the application. The application is going to be deployed. Meanwhile, let me prepare the another request. So the URL is going to be same, but the method should be of put based, and in the body we are going to send a XML payload. Let's go to the document and get this input payload. Click on send. Request came. If we look at Mule message structure on this incoming event, in attributes we see several incoming properties and we have header section and we see the incoming content type and the host from where the request came, and we see query parameters section, URI parameters section. These are empty since we are not sending any fields over here. If I say next, it has printed the payload. If we look at the difference between JSON payload and XML payload, in JSON payload we didn't had any root field, but we can have the root field also, that is optional. But coming to the XML, always the root field is or root element tag is mandatory to incorporate the child elements inside it. To print a specific value, we should traverse through the complete fields or complete elements hierarchy. To get a source, we should write the expression as payload.covidcase.source. So let's go here and change it to payload dot. Let me copy this and dot source. Let's save it. Let the application get redeployed. The application has deployed and the app has started. Now let's go here, make the request. Request came. Let me clear the logs and say next, and we can see the source as printed here. As we know, the XML payloads can also contain attributes. Then how we can read or extract that attributes from payload? So let me add a attribute here as some ID equal to some value, and to read this attribute we should traverse as payload dot covid case dot the child element dot at the date id, that will give the value. Let me do the same. Here we just need to keep dot at id. Save. Let the application get deployed. The application has deployed. Now let's go and make the request. Request came. Say next, and we can see that particular ID has printed here. So this is how we extract the XML element values from XML payload, and also the XML elements attribute values. That's all about this session. We will see about header parameters extraction from next session. Thank you. Happy learning.